The migration of the Balaalo herders to northern Uganda began around 2009, driven by the search for abundant pasture and water resources. With time, their numbers grew in size and their cattle increased in number, which caused disputes, especially over land. The disputes prompted local leaders to appeal to President Museveni, who on May 19, 2023, issued an executive order number 3 directing all non-compliant herdsmen in the northern region to evacuate immediately. Operations to expel non-compliant herdsmen commenced in December 2023, and by 2024, a total number of 7,293 cattle were evicted from the region. However, in 2024, when the country was invaded by foot and mouth disease, the government suspended the evacuation of herders and their cattle until the disease was brought under control. Yesterday, the State Minister for Northern Uganda Affairs, Dr. Kenneth Omona, announced that President Museveni had given a directive to all the Balaalo in northern Uganda to vacate the area within 14 days.
The 2 weeks we are giving, we think is adequate enough for them to organize themselves and leave. And it begins today.
Omona said the foot and mouth disease, which had hampered the program, had already been brought under control after the government vaccinated all cattle and the quarantine was lifted.
His Excellency the President directed that now that there is no quarantine in this area and the cattle have been vaccinated, the Balaalo in northern Uganda must leave immediately.
Herders who remain beyond the 14-day deadline will be forcefully evacuated by the UPDF and their sister security agencies in the region.
I will ask all the leaders and general public in the region to cooperate with the security agencies while they carry out this exercise.
So the purpose of this eviction that the minister has talked about is to protect the people from indisciplined cattle keepers who destroy people's property.
The exit point will be only Karuma, and everyone leaving, whether peacefully or by force, must have an exit permit.
And the purpose of having this exit permit is to ensure that there is nobody who has stolen any other person's cows or animals.
All cattle must be moved during day between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Officers involved in the forced evacuation operation have been strictly warned against engaging in bribery.
The last operations that were conducted for eviction, there was a lot of bribery. Now, anybody that will be caught soliciting money from any herdsman will be dealt with.
Article 29 of the Constitution of Uganda provides for the right to freedom of movement and settlement. We asked the authorities whether the relocation of the herders violates this section.
The question here is not about or contravening the Constitution about the freedom of movement and settlement of citizens. It is about a particular described group of people who the President referred to us in this discipline, migrant cattle keepers.
It's like all human beings have a right to live. But if you misuse, sometimes that life may be terminated. Not so. It can be terminated. So it's not compulsory that you have to enjoy the rights. It depends on how you conduct yourself.
We spoke to Balaalo leaders who questioned this decision and requested a meeting with the relevant authorities to discuss the matter.
We believe maybe the minister was misinformed. We've already requested the Minister of Northern Uganda to have a quick meeting so that he listens to us and we get to understand where that ultimatum is coming from instead of verification. Because the unfinished business is that the verification team comes to verify the compliance, how we complied. Then those maybe who didn't comply, would be the ones to be evicted according to the presidential directive.
Security officials also revealed that some migrant cattle keepers hail from the neighboring countries including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, and Burundi.